One, two, one, two. 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 All right, I got this mic going. I think it's working. Welcome to Father Figures Forever. Here on episode 1 of Word Up, Sandra. Some people know what that means on the inside. I'll explain it to you later. It's definitely a Word Up, Sandra episode. All right, all right. All right, you heard the intro. For some reason, for the moment, I can't hear myself. At least in these monitors, but I'll figure it out later. As long as you can hear me, that's cool. So we're starting off with episode 1, Word Up Sandra, straight up no chaser. This is a conversation about daddy's little girl, and do we love him? Oh yes, we do. Daddy's little girl for sure, and that's for life too. And you can probably hear it in my voice sounding a little, sensitive about it. Because it touches my heart, especially when you're talking about a young lady, being a male, being a father, being on that other end of the gender. It just kind of stands out. So that's why I wanted to talk about this, and I wanted to present, something to you and show you a little something here. Uh, Here's the picture here. Well, I was trying to go back. Let's see, take it to a little earlier or something like that. I got a picture here. Here we go. This is my daughter, lovely young lady. Not gonna mention the name right now, but this is my daughter. And look at her. She all so cute, so precious. I couldn't find the baby pic that I had because that baby pic probably would bring me to tears. So maybe I don't need to have it up here. But this is my daughter at about, I say 6, 7 years old, maybe somewhere in that range. She's not got that little baby pic, look like a little koala bear, which melts my heart. But one day when I looked at her as a young baby and an infant, I said, I hope she grows up to live to reach the stage of puberty, graduate from school and college, you know. At the time thinking, she get married, have a husband, have children, the kind of typical mode. And but what also spirit spoke to me and said, you gotta love up on her. You want to kiss her, hug her, you hear her voice. She called me dad, dad, dad. I can still hear it to this day. And that's basically the way she still say it. She said, hey daddy, hey. So I can definitely hear it. But a voice hit me too and said, well, as much as you want to say yes and give her everything, what about no? And the protection and providing. Those are typical things we hear. But I'm just saying, even if you say no to your daughter, how does that feel? What do you think about? What does that mean, especially for fathers? And what does no look like? I had these conversations sometimes with women, but in fathers too. And what does no look like? And we're going to go through some things. I actually dug in and, looked at some videos, kind of dug through to see if there was some videos where fathers discipline their daughters. Didn't find that much, but I know it's out there. I've seen them, and I got one here that eventually I'll show. Well, yeah, I will show. It's a few minutes long, but hopefully you can bear with me. And anything I use on here, I want to make sure that fair use is in play. So definitely doing, on fair use for educational purposes. And I hope that I don't get striked or knocked off, and hopefully we'll have a good episode. I want to be on here for about 30 minutes, an hour. It may take that long, but we'll see. I want to hold you too long. I know the world is moving fast and social media moves fast. So decided I'm not gonna go but so long. So when I went into this picture right here, let's see if I can add it. Um this picture here, the young lady, as you can see, I put that daddy's little girl to kind of go with the flavor of Father Figures Forever, a little Smith representation too. I'm going to Smith High School football game tonight. Go Golden Eagles, but that's another story. But look at that precious young lady, that daddy's little girl right there. And that's she's with her brother right there. Um, and it made me think too, even looking at the difference between raising daughters and sons. So I just wanted to think about this in hindsight of this picture and would it be different if I look at her and I look at him, how would I approach them? Am I going to discipline her the same way that I discipline him? And clearly it's gonna be different. And eventually, upon my studying, I just came up and whipped up my own little thing. Yeah, daddy's little girl syndrome. Yes, sir. Daddy's little girl syndrome. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna turn my mic up a little bit. Please excuse me, but that's what I'm saying. Daddy's little girl syndrome. What do you mean by that? Well, let's look and see here. Um, you've got a thing here. We look up the dictionary version of uh, a syndrome. And the key part is this bottom one here, a characteristic combination of opinions, emotions, or behavior. Or some may say is quote unquote not in my backyard syndrome. I guess kind of making some things up, just like I made this up. And daddy's little girl syndrome. So that means a characteristic, a combination of opinions, emotions, or behaviors on how we interact with our daughters as we're raising them. So I want you to definitely keep that in mind. I also wanted to just let it be known this is Father Figures Forever. This is the graphic here, created by the great Jeff Crosby, Brandon Nerd. I'm gonna get his info and put it on the banner so you can reach out to him if you want some logo work. He created this for me back in 2018. It represents starting off the 336 area and Greensboro, so that's why it's got the Greensboro colors in it. That's kind of the thing I thought about. I want it to be a stamp of showing, where this was created at, where we engage at, and having pride for where, I'm at. So shout out to 336 and Greensboro, no doubt. So want to move into some things, and like I said, I came up with this daddy little girl syndrome, and I want fathers to be aware that we can love up on our daughters, ain't no doubt. We can nurture them, want to do stuff for them, but there's a fine line, and sometimes I hear fathers saying, like, I tell my daughter I do for her because I don't want no man for nothing and everything. Not stopping to think that with her, you train her up to possibly, look at men as less value and even a potential father to her children. And I mean, what am I doing for the next man? I've never really kicked that, I'm gonna do everything for my daughter so she don't need no man. I'm just gonna do for her because she's my daughter. I just don't deliver that message to her, you know. And when I'm thinking that if I desire for her to get married one day, I don't want to block that next man's blessings and what he can bring to the table, quote unquote table, just to feed my ego and seem like I'm the best father in the world. And that's part of where I look at that is the biggest part with the daddy little girl syndrome. And that's being caught up and wanting hear everybody else say, oh, you such a great dad. Look at you. Oh, you so great. You were so involved. And yeah, that's it. Go on here. That's right. But she can do every and anything. And yeah, and ain't nothing, she don't need no man. All these things that are thrown out there. And I'm not the one to come like that. That's just something to really think about. So I want to talk about that syndrome and them characteristics and that behavior. I can honestly say that I've never told my daughter that I'm gonna support her so she won't need a man or whatever the case may be. I also never really said her, well, honey, you can do and be anything. I mean, there's boundaries. There's things that come with life. Now, am I encouraging and supportive? Of course. If there's things she want to seek, it may seem out of her quote unquote gender line or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna support it. You aim, you try, you fail, you succeed. It's gonna be one or the other at some point. But I'm just not that one. You got to excuse me. I have pavement in my parking lot, so but I didn't want to stop the show because of this. But they're working on some things. But that's just where part of it is at. So I want fathers to think about this to make sure that we know that we're loving up on our daughters and we're protecting and providing for them. But what about the discipline and set, boundaries and saying no and meaning no from a spiritual level, from a mental level, physical level, the no in the sense of, I don't want my daughter out here putting her hands on a man like that. No, that's not a good idea, honey. And if you assault a man and he get that lick back, I can't. I mean, I'm gonna definitely protect you, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, we're gonna have a accountability conversation or whatever. Because why are you putting your hands on men just because? And I hope it ain't because she got the belief that men don't hit women. I don't poke that and I don't kick that. Self defense is key. And again, going back to that, no, how important that is. No, honey, you don't need to be putting your hands on a man. No, honey, I want you to think twice about this and think twice about that. I want that spirit of no in you, as well as the love and nurture and support I've invested in you. So, want to share something with you. I was looking, checking out some things, and I definitely want you to see something here. And hopefully you can see what I have here. I typed in what happens when fathers raise their daughters. So you see some things that come up. Daughters inherit a mix of physical and health related traits from their fathers, including the Y chromosome. You can see a stitching here highlighted. We kind of know those things, but some parts I didn't know in specific. So I learned a lot about this fat storage and facial features and eye and hair color and things like that. So I'm learning. And look at these things here are what is involved. Look how deep it can get and how much a father can how much influence he has on his daughter from the start, even before the baby is born, and you write in the DNA. Just look at these things, feel free, anybody can look this up, of course, and see what's going on. I mean, this white fat thing kind of caught me off guard. I was looking at that. Whoa, I guess I'm going to look into that and see what that's about. But as we go down, and you can see, and even though I'm not a deep church person, but this did come out and blurred up. It says the daughter needs her father to set firm boundaries and follow through with consequences, always reminding her that he loves her, but not her actions. And again, I'm not a big biblical man. I'm not all heavy in the church like that. But I do take heed to the scriptures sometimes. I'm not going to be so naive and ignore it just because I have certain opinions about maybe some church and Christianity. But, again, to set these firm boundaries and follow through with consequences. Because if you want to pour in all this love and give them the, as they call it, a Disney fairy tale and, you're the princess and this and let me not even throw out the word prize. I better be hesitant on that one too, but we know what that means. And I'm just saying that, it's okay to pour in, but what are you going to do about this end too? The firm boundaries and the consequences. When she's 12 years old and you thinking about whooping her, what does that look like? Or other aspects. Go to the school, find out she goofing off. What you gonna do? How's your approach gonna be? Looking at it for a son versus a daughter. We easily walk through it. So I just definitely wanted to highlight that and let that be known. And this falls in line with the daddy's little girl syndrome. And you can look at some of these things. What's the best age to raise? And look, badass. Excuse my language, daughters. I'm not going to even click on that. I'm gonna click on it and read it, but it's funny. But I did want to highlight this part and show y'all this. That this is the daddy little girl syndrome part that I want to be careful about. Because pouring that love, I'm encouraging it. The beautiful ladies out here, precious daughters, big, fat, skinny, tall. We love them all. And in this case, when you point into your daughter, you just got to be careful about that. I just want God to talk about that because again, if you, my daughter, she don't want for nothing, and I'm gonna provide her. She don't need no darn man and all. That just gets a little funny. I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but what we it's like the stuffing the turkey, just fattening it up with no accountability. I'm trying my best not to use that word and sound so cliche and trendy, but we can clearly look here and see that sometimes discipline matters. And you can maybe hear it in my voice, but I've told my daughter no in different ways, and she can attest to you for it. But I also go to bat protecting her too, if it came down to it. And she can attest to that too. Because the moment I think that somebody's doing something to my daughter, oh, I'm mad. And I haven't got to the point now. Actually, I'm 59 and played around and stuff and been disrespectful, different things like that. And I think twice more about it now. I'm probably thinking about it, but no, if this is your daughter, what would you do? So that's probably gonna help me moving forward. It's a little therapy for me while I'm sitting here talking. I'm single now, but I bet you I'm gonna put that in the equation and really think about that. That might help me. Because most men don't think about dogging out their daughter, and we could be dogs. Come on now, straight no chaser. Word up, Sandra. We know what the drill is, because I done been there. That's part of the reason why we might get overbearing, because we know that we've been that dude before. We've been that guy. Broken hearts, breaking certain things, breaking bones, probably getting in scuffles with dudes and stuff, whatever the case may be, or just whatever the case may be. And that's just definitely something to think about. So I want to lay it out there. If I could, I wish I could write a thesis on it, but I ain't, I don't have the time for it now. But maybe lay it down the road or something about the daddy little girl syndrome and have it published. But I ain't in no rush. I can just put it out here and I'm publishing it to y'all. And I think it's better to get it out to y'all to talk about and support it. Now, there may be some ladies and women that object, and that's okay. You can feel free to comment, chime in. The door is open. I definitely want you to express yourself. So please, I encourage you to please comment, express your thoughts. Fathers, definitely chime in, whether you agree or disagree, or just chime in about how you feel about your daughter, what you think about it, and how you approach her. But let's not forget, as I mentioned, those stages where she goes from being a little baby to a woman on menstruation to liking boys or whatever the case may be, giggling with her friends and all that. We know because we went through it. And we know those stages. And you're not going to approach her the same way you would at the infant stage as you would when she's a teenager. But oh, lo and behold, like I say, she's not daddy's little girl no more in that sense. She's grown now. She's grown up. But if we can easily keep framing and looking at like, oh, that's daddy's little girl. That's daddy's little girl. So sweet, so precious. Oh, I get that call. I just can't say no. If she hit me up and say, I need my light bill paid, we just gonna pay it without asking, why are you in this situation? Not to knock you. I'm just trying to figure out. Maybe there's even some ways I can help beyond that. But, to just blindly just pay the bill and just keep rolling with it. And that's fattening that turkey up sometimes. That entitlement. And it can leak over to other relationships. And that's the thing I'm concerned about. I don't know how my daughter navigates now, but I don't hear much noise, and I hope it's in, at least for the most part, a good space and good relationships. And if she listens to this, I hope she just pours in. I'm not saying she's not a person you can, get along with and that she doesn't have friends and family. I actually love the fact that, she hangs with women and my family tight. And that's great because that keeps family tight and keeps an eye on her. That extra eye in the ear, going back to that protection and provision part and stuff, and being concerned, and at least being around some women that have an ilk of where I least when I looked at her and said, well, what if I designed it for her, how would it be? So I do like that part. Chris Rock got that joke of not being on the pole. I don't think she's been on the pole for pay, and I hope not. I get life, but I hope not. So I want to show you something here. If you can see it, dad and daughter here. You see this is later stage. But look at the little handwriting and everything. Oh, that's my precious daughter. She's so cute. I just love her. Then you look at this one here. She's dancing at North Carolina Central. I'm here out here supporting her. Definitely checking out, what she's done and influence. I loved it. I missed those days of seeing her dance. Actually, it was a great time. But look at that. Look, I'm just loving up on her. Oh, it's so cute. And then there's other examples too. Let's check out this one right here.
Great to him for a hug while crying, showing how incredibly grateful she is of him. It even had this guy in the background crying as well, realizing this is a great moment for the dad. When this dad took his little daughter out to dinner for her birthday.
Let's go to another one here. Look at it.
You better lay there and go to sleep. Do you hear me?
You hear me?
Precious. Just precious. I mean, just look at that. Dad and daughter.
Greg, Zariah woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and was running through the house.
You woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and was running through the house? Why?
Oh, there's some discipline there. It is. See? But if they can continue the later years, she ain't gonna be that little precious girl no more. Look at that, so cute.
Greg, I told you to talk to her.
And we could be so easily deceived.
Oh, okay.
They not scared of me. They know I be drinking juice and stuff,
Zariah.
Word up, Sandra.
Hey, don't you walk. When you get up in the middle of the night, you better lay there and go to sleep. Do you hear me?
And they even being a tag team. That's all right. Mama's on code. They're on code, and they doing what they do. They supporting the father discipline. So actually, I didn't catch this as much as the first time I watched it, but I see now. There's an example. No, baby girl, I love you. You can climb up on me, but no. And I want to show you a couple other things here. Share my screen. Here's a cute one right here.
Okay, you ready? I promise Daddy I will not have boyfriend.
No.
Why?
Hey, you see that? Oh, let's bring this back one more time.
I promise Daddy I will not have boyfriend.
No.
Yeah, you see here.
Okay, you ready?
Well, how about the other way? Let's go to another one here. Let's no. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. Let's set that for. Well, this one I think I have more, but let's flip it. We're gonna go ahead and flip it then. Again, I'm not gonna make this too long. But here's one. I don't know the brother's name. Shout out to News Flare. This is where I got this from. Well, of course, we're in the little girl stage. But here's the other side. Here's a side that that comes with the territory. Look at his face. Look at his face. He got that no face. Yeah, that no look. Like the Jordan tone. That no daddy look. There goes that no. That Uh-huh. Look at the love. Look at the love. See? It's parent stuff. There we go. He back at the store and pretty much done with it, you know. And as you see there, there's a part of it too. Now, if we want to go a little extreme and get a little funny, please excuse me in fair use and please excuse the language, but here's the extent we'll go for our daughters. You understand me? Word up, Sandra. You ain't playing. Look at his face. He's serious too. And look at that energy. See the energy, the adrenaline. I know his adrenaline's pumping. His adrenaline gotta be pumping. My adrenaline pumps when I think about protecting my daughter that way. If somebody put their hands on her, phone call away, and he's serious. That adrenaline is pumping. Hey, boy, understand me? I've been kicking to the blinds too. You got a man out there looking like that with that daddy words and that and grandpa's in case. We ain't playing. Come on outside and get some of that father wrath. Get some of that father wrath. Now I want to go on too. You know, we all using AI now, and you can see what I typed in. Hopefully my screen. Let's make sure my screen is sharing. Hold on, let's make sure it's sharing. Please excuse me. Man, we gonna look at this here. If you can see this, you see what I asked chat. Do fathers and parent and raise sons different than their daughters? And you can see here the response. Yes, fathers often parent and raise sons differently than their daughters, influenced by societal norms, gender roles, and personal beliefs. Typically, fathers might, and you can see what goes on here, use different communication styles and authority figures. Okay, this definitely stands out. Styles and authority figure. And key word too is authority. That's going back to that daddy's little girl syndrome and making sure that some authority is in play and how you communicate and how you get that out. But you've seen different examples here from the man that was talking to his daughter about the 4:30 a.m. Soft talk, as opposed to the grandfather on his business talking to someone else and getting inflammatory, but he was upset. So there's different dynamics and different ways of communication styles that can come about. And he was there to put in some authority to the grandfather, the gangster grandfather, as I call him, letting it be known it's not a game here. Respect my authority. And you can see how with these differences not universal, can vary widely depending on individuals' family, cultural backgrounds, personal fathers. And as you can see, many fathers focus on loving, supporting, and equal parenting regardless of gender, emphasizing the importance of respect, responsibility, and emotional intelligence for all children. I guess we have to definitely play these in and respect and responsibility. And we know that comes with the daddy's little girl syndrome and how you got to protect this when we're raising our daughters. And now let's look through it here. I went down a little bit more and you can see it said fathers often parent sons and daughters differently due to a combination of societal influences. So we know about the beliefs and all that, but there's still a baseline. And here's some of the things that's in play. You can clearly read it, or you can use Chat GPT. I'm not gonna hang on it too long, but you can see these things that come in. And you can see the importance right here. Fathers might believe boys and girls have different emotional developmental needs, leading to different parenting approaches. But we know at the end of the day, they both need to hear that no. They both need to hear that no. Now you see here with some communication styles and stuff like that, and all those things kick in. And then, I came to can fathers over nurture and comfort their daughters. And it said, yes, fathers can over nurture and over comfort their daughters just as they can with any child, which I understand, but we talking about daughters here. So we talking about the things here, dependency, the lack of resilience, and an impact on self-confidence. And this one is a key thing too. Children might learn how to cope with challenges, failures, and setbacks. It's hard to do that if you're filling them up. Just definitely want to be careful about that. And then you see, I did try to propose something, but Chat G, hit me with the Heisman, which I thought I had the pro version, but clearly I don't. I know I'm paying for something and it comes out of my account, so I need to double check on that and see what's going on. But I think you get it. So remember, I just want you to definitely remember this part, kind of rounding off. That just like it's drugs, just say no. Just say no. When it comes to our daughters, I'm not saying we're not doing that, but I just want you to keep that idea in mind. Like I say, no can come in many different ways and many different forms. Paying the bill, not paying the bill. I mean, on up to the point, they may call it a stream. You get that call, Daddy, such and such been beating on me, and he did this and he did that, and then you don't want to find out that. Come to find out, it's not the case. It's really her. And how many times you want to run into that? You want to be on that Ferris wheel or that hamster wheel, and she got you spinning and running, trying to being gangster grandpa on somebody when she's the cause and she's the problem. Eventually, those phone calls might not really be answered. Wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm not saying all our daughters are like that. But we know the examples. I think it was with the Georgia twins got their stepfather killed, starting some mess, and then he tried to go out there and prove himself. keeping it real goes wrong and ended up in the casket. That dirty little girl, that's my little girl. You know, that's my girl. Sweet little angel. Princess can do no wrong. If you want to know what I look like, here I am. Here's my daughter, grandson. Look at that smile. She still got that same smile as it was a little baby. Dad, Dad. I can still hear the voice. Dad, Dad. You better not put your hands on my girl. Don't you do it. How about out here crying? Ain't it say got to be putting hands out here crying. Broken promises and broken heart. Oh, Lord. And I understand it's natural as a kick in, man. That adrenaline and stuff, you start thinking about it, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And then she started looking like this again. Right, I'm right back here again. Here we go. Miss Do No Wrong. Can't do nothing wrong. Ish don't stink. Well, fellas, I'm here to talk to you and just say I want you to consider that daddy's little girl syndrome and whether that's in you or not. Are you carrying that? And do you want to be relieved of that syndrome? Daddy's little girl. Everybody can say, oh, you know, he take care of her. She don't want nothing. She don't want no man. Everybody say that around you. You're a great pops. So you get your love, but you're not realizing that you're stripping out the boundaries, the consequences, painting the picture of those things. And you got a spoiled, rotten child. And if I, matter of fact, if I can bring it up, give me a moment. Let me see here, because I think I sent it to myself, and I'm check and see. Let me check. Just give me a moment. Let's see here. Because I wanted to show Willy Wonka. Y'all remember the original version of Willy Wonka and the little girl in Willy Wonka? Oh, yeah. Okay. Anybody remember the little girl from Willy Wonka? We're going to end it off with this one. We're going to definitely end it off with this one. I want you to peep game on this one.
Hey, Daddy, I want a golden goose.
Here we go again.
All right, sweetheart, all right. Daddy will get you a golden goose as soon as we get home.
No, I want one of those.
Wonka, how much do you want for the golden goose?
They're not for sale.
Name the price.
She can't have one.
Who says I can't?
The man with a funny hat.
I want one. I want a golden goose. Gooses. Geeses. I want my geese to lay gold eggs for Easter.
It will, sweetheart.
At least 100 a day.
Anything you say.
And by the way...
What?
I want a feast.
You ate before you came to the factory.
I want a bean feast.
Oh, one of those.
Cream buns and donuts and fruitcake with no nuts, so good you could go nuts.
You're gonna have all those things when you get home.
No, now! I want a ball. I want a party. Pink macaroons and a million balloons and performing baboons and give it to me. Now! I want the world.
Wow.
I want the whole world. I want to lock it all up in my pocket. It's my favorite chocolate. So give it to me now. I want today. I want tomorrow. I want to wear them like braids in my hair, and I don't want to share them. I want want a party with roomfuls of laughter, 10,000 tons of ice cream. And if I don't get the things I am after, I'm going to scream. I want the works, I want the whole works. Presents and prizes and sweets and surprises of all shapes and sizes. And now, don't care how, I want it now. Don't care how, I want it now.
She was a bad egg.
Where's she gone?
Where all the other bad eggs go. Down the
Watch
garbage
this
chute.
cat. Watch.
The garbage chute.
Watch him.
Where did
Take note, fathers.
The furnace. Should be sitting like a sausage.
Well, not necessarily. She could be stuck just
This
inside.
about to be the word up Sandra moment.
Hold on! Veruca! Sweetheart! Daddy's coming!
Word up, Sandra. Word up. So this is why just say no is important. That guy, that father, you could clearly tell. People know the story of Willy Wonka. All them children got storylines. All of them got some societal impact and it helps with my social work lens. And it helps with your social lens in general. What is going on between that father and that daughter? He clearly got some dough because he paid. She didn't. I think he paid for his golden ticket. For the golden ticket for her instead of her getting it in the bar and winning it. But you watch the movie and you can figure it out. Sit down, coming up, Christmas coming up. They're gonna, push it out there. Watch it. Put that social lens on for Willy Wonka because that's telling you right there what happens when you got daddy little girl syndrome. And she running the show. You don't. She telling you what to do, when to do it, why to do it, how to do it. Probably even tell you how you having sex relations with her mother, your wife, or whatever the case may be. Yes, I said it. I surely did. It gets that tight. Word up, Sandra. No chaser. Just say no. Just like this. Just say no. You can be unlucky to your daughter. Just do it. Go ahead. Go on out there. Go and get it. But wait a minute now. Hold up now. You did cuss out the supervisor and it was unwarranted. Now you didn't make it to that appointment at 8:30, blaming everybody else but yourself. And no matter what a man do with a potential father for your child or whatever the case may be, he just can't satisfy you. You don't need no man. That's what daddy told you. So how is it for men to argue about that? Argue that you need man, and you tell them you don't need no man. How they say it now? Make it make sense. And granted, fathers, I ain't trying to bash his heart. I created father figures forever to support our fathers. I don't owe you nothing like that, but I put in the work to build this because I value fathers, so I got your back, and this is one of the ways I got your back. Had an old vehicle. Mechanic looked at me and said, "Man, you think about getting you another car?" He gave me that old dog, that look. He's not my father, but it was kind of that father thing. He gave me that look. Probably knew it was a cold beer, and we gotta sit it down and put it to rest. She was a great dog, but it's that time. And I was being hold me accountable too. You know, you need to looking to get another vehicle, son. What are you doing? I don't know who was looking down on me. That was just the West Father figure's influence forever. In many different ways. And it looks different. So he's telling me, if I think I'm gonna ride that car forever, I'm in love with that vehicle. My pops bought it for me. It's a classic to me. It's very valuable. So no, I'm gonna keep it. No. And he telling me, no, you need to address that. Now, I don't know how my mic is. I'm just finding out for the first time, so you gotta excuse me if you hear some noise in the background. My unit is walls is kind of thin and whatnot. You can hear stuff, and sometimes I enjoy it though. Keeps things a little lively, but you know, again, they paving and certain things going on. So please excuse it if you hear it. But I know how at least live my mic is, so I know how to gauge it. But you know, again, it's the first time I'm really doing a live stream, so I'm learn and grow, just like fathers can learn and grow. And this is a learn and grow session. Episode 1 of Word Up Sandra. No chasers. Straight up. And straight up, I'm saying the fathers, and I really mean it. We got to love upon them ladies, but we got to make sure we put some discipline on them too. And it's to be honest, you can do some things, but you can't do it. I know that know where that noise comes from. Careful, honey. You put your hands on the man. Be careful. You know he's stronger than you, more than likely. What's going on? You know you're coming to his job, making a mess. In class. So why your grade is low? I mean, what you expect? And we ain't gonna be able to do everything if you come in at that angle. I don't mean the grade's got to be perfect, but come on. Word up, Sandra. This is gonna be an hour session at 2:51. So we're gonna make it at 3:00. But I just wanted to point some things, and hopefully you learn a little something for it. I was gonna get a little scholarly on it and throw some journals and some peer reviewed stuff at you, but you know, this kind of more on the street thing. But Father Figures probably gonna bring that too. You'll see it in my presentation when I present Father Figures, the program, the agency, the movement, big, small, skinny, or tall. The movement gonna keep moving for all y'all. Honey, I love you. If you pick this live stream, I love you. But you know there's a to it too. I don't know if you ever thought of it, but you ever said, but when my daddy liked that, and whether you stopped and said, I'm gonna chill out, or whatever the case may be, or something to motivate you. But daddy, I see my daddy's doing some things, so I'm gonna try to do some things too. I hope I've been an inspiration. And I got work to do, but I've also been uninspirational. One thing I'm quite sure I haven't been is eating too much of the daddy's little girl syndrome. Eating that ego, stepping up that turkey. And this outside world don't care about your ego like that. So I want to definitely right now we give a shout out and support again to all the people that's contributed to Father Figures Forever. Small, big contributions. I've appreciated it all. I appreciate your support. And I want to continue to get more support. I was gonna play this Daddy's Little Girl song too. It's beautiful, but I'll get to it later. But yeah, the next one's gonna be definitely the presentation of father figures, and then we'll round up and do some more word up Sandra conversations. And feel free to comment and let me know what you might want to talk about: fathers, mothers, children. You chiming in. Comment, subscribe, please. And you can read it and see it here. I'm not going to repeat it that hard unless I push that hard for it, but feel free to support. Cash App is down here below as well, too. It'll go directly to the movement. It's set up directly for the movement. I had a joke in my head. I heard somebody be saying, well, I'll take some money you give me and I'll spend it on OnlyFans, but I don't have an OnlyFans account. I ain't touched it, never seen it. Quite sure some nice things on there, but hey, that's a whole nother story. I'm being a father and a father figure right now, so let's get off that. Even though that's what got my daughter here. I'm on Facebook trying to get my Instagram account back up. Hopefully it will. But if you typically type in father figures forever, sometimes the four can be like this on the Cash App forever in that way. I'm also on Twitter too, and I know that's for the number forever. Not on TikTok, or I might be on TikTok. I haven't pumped it that hard yet, but I may set up something at some point. But I'm keeping it funky now here on Father Figures Forever. I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's say we got 5 minutes, not the 6 minutes. It's on, but it is on. And that's all something I want to remember too. I want to give a shout outs to all non-custodial, non-residential blood and not fathers. Because that's something specifically that, it's known primarily in family law. Excuse me. But opening up more, and that was part of my scholarly work, is really focusing on that population and how, my opinion, support is lacking. Like I say here in Greensboro, there's 2 women's resource center and a women's hospital. What are you doing for fathers and men? What message does that deliver when I'm riding through Greensboro, the greater Greensboro area? What is that telling me? But we're screaming where the dad is at. Where the place, an office, a space, something play for him. Somewhere, somehow. An agency, a system, care coordination for this particular population, especially. Less incarceration, less mess, less drama, better outcomes. I think we know the drill, and I think it's time to invest in it just a little bit more. I see some movements and some support. Been around colleagues and stuff who wholeheartedly, especially women and mothers who dominate the human service field, that wholeheartedly say we do need fathers involved, and how can we even get involved? So shout outs to Every Baby Guilford here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Check them out, Every Baby Guilford. I'm on their board. They do a lot of great maternal health work, and I signed up for maternal health mainly because I wanted to dive into engage with mothers and women's and families, and hopefully bring out fathers. And they brought me in on that end. They wanted some fatherhood in and support. Went to the High Point City Council last week for a declaration of the month in High Point of of maternal infant health. So that brings it to the line of that Center thing. I ain't saying Center. I definitely am supporting fathers. And on the Saint Center end, it's like, which way are you playing? Are you going to be the saint for the men? Are you going to stand and engage with the mothers and the women? Yes, I am. Because they got that mother's touch. And it's needed. It's valuable. It's what I hope my daughter carries on with her child. And mother's touch has been upon me from my mother, Miss Sandra. That's why I word up Sandra. This episode kind of rings a bell with it. Word up, Sandra. And hell yeah, word up, Sandra. it's really just, it can represent a lot of different things, but it's tend to be about extremes or something like that, you know. Like the gangster grandpa going out. That's a word up, Sandra, him going out protecting for his daughter. Or the guy sitting his daughter down or something. Where he had his word up, Sandra. Look from the beginning of that video, like she that's a no for her. She knows she acting up, and I'm about to hit her with the plan. Word up, Sandra. I'll explain more on the other end, on another channel that I have, where you can get a little deeper with word up, Sandra. There's other things with it too. But you see something funny out here, somebody going at it in the store. Word up, Sandra. Look at them. So I thank y'all, for tuning in. I'm gonna set this one down, but I hope you took that to heart as far as the daddy little girl syndrome. Please share, like, comment, definitely subscribe. We're trying to build this movement up. And come and get something, get some knowledge and bring some knowledge to the table for me too. I want this to be a loop, some input and output. So it's okay too. Express yourself. Then again, Father Pigs Forever 5, Cash App. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everything. And we just gonna tune this one out and go on about our way. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to hopefully make Smith High School football game represent my Golden Eagles. Peace. Bye.